There you go.
Recording. All right. So, hi, everybody. This is Misty White, and this is Dr. Kenny Harless. Today, we are here to talk a little bit with Dr. Kenny about the immune system and what suppresses it. So, as a parent, it's one of my major goals is to make sure my kids have a strong immune system, make sure they stay healthy. And we're here today to talk about some things that can actually hurt your immune system function and also some things that can help it. So thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. And man, I went down this rabbit hole in chiropractic college 20 years ago. Holy smokes. And I remember just going in and always being enamored with the body and how the potential of the body was. Misty, and it was like, and I started learning about diet and things like that. And I'd never heard of such things. You know what I mean? And what I started to realize is people, when they think sugar, they think like table sugar. And I'm going to give some reference points today and like what you have maybe in your home or your cupboard or when you go out to eat that's actually suppressing, shutting down the immune system. Now, I want you to picture back, we're all kind of the same age here, I would imagine, but you remember the game Pac-Man?
Yes.
Okay, the little yellow guy who would go around eating everything up. Think of that as your immune system. Okay, so it goes around, it finds things inside of the body that shouldn't be there, and it chomps those suckers up and spits them back out, right? It takes them to your immune system and your lymphatic system so that your body can create memory cells to attack those invaders sooner the next time. So you may be asking, what can suppress the immune system, maybe of yourself, of your children, of the people that you love? Well, number one is sugar. And not just table sugar, but carbohydrates break down as sugar. And so medical research shows this little packet right here of sugar, that's a teaspoon. That shuts down your immune system, Misty, for 3 to 5 hours at a 50% reduction. And I was like, man, when kids start going back to school, right, especially what's going on right now they're getting bombarded. They're eating a bunch of processed food, sugars. Look up pizza. 2 pieces of pizza is like 45 grams of sugar. Okay, so what happens is for every 4 grams, there's a packet of this. So if you do the math, that's 11 to 12 of these packets. Now, would we ever go eat 11 or 12 of these things? No way. So now the immune system gets turned off. And as it gets shut down and turned off, these bugs, these vira, the bacteria, even cancer can go rampant inside of the body. And so I just want to show, this right here, I love to do visuals. This is a 10-pound bag of sugar. Hard to believe, but my wife would kid you and tell you this thing's bigger than my head. This has 1,080 packets of sugar to get this. This is what the average American eats every 2 weeks. I was like, oh my God. And research shows that 100 years ago, children actually consumed, today they consume this amount of sugar that people used to get 100 years ago in their whole life in the first 7 to 8 years. And so it really started to make sense when we started seeing waistlines increase and all these kids getting sick. And for the first time ever, our children are supposed to live a shorter life expectancy than the parents. And I really started to study this stuff, and I've got other examples, but, I grew up drinking this. Does this look familiar? I mean, this right here has 16 packets of sugar. Every packet shuts the immune system down for 3 to 5 hours. Do the math.
That just
And this just, go ahead, I'm sorry.
That blows my mind that 1 teaspoon shuts down your immune system for 3 to 5 hours. That's wild.
I would never. And it shuts down testosterone production in men by 33% for up to 8 hours. So when testosterone goes down, estrogen goes up. All the cancers we typically see, they're estrogenergic. They're hormonal cancers, right? Breast, cervical, testicular, prostate, thyroid. I mean, these are just things I just started to learn as I started to gravitate and see this stuff. Because when I opened my practice 17 years ago and I no longer practice, man, I would see 1 out of every couple hundred people that would have like an autoimmune disease. And this stuff literally creates systemic inflammation. And 80% of the immune system lives in the intestines. Your immune system in the intestines has more nerve endings than the spinal cord. And so when you suppress that, you suppress the immune system. And you create widespread inflammation and fires throughout the body. And I started seeing all these conditions that end in itis and osis. That means inflammation. And sugar causes that. And so you're just turning the body on fire. And here's another trick, right?
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm sorry, Misty.
You want to finish your thought? Go ahead.
Yeah. Another thing too, you'll see parents that I was taught growing up, hey, let's give them some, sports drinks, right, for electrolytes. This has 15 packets of sugar. So think of how long it's turning down the immune system alone. This blew my mind. That's ketchup. That's how much sugar. I put sugar in there to show how much sugar is actually in ketchup.
Oh, no.
Does orange juice sound familiar too, right? 9 packets of sugar in orange juice. And it's all processed. So it's been cooked. And what happens to our, food when we cook it? We all know it destroys it. So you're better off to juice your own, but I came up with some solutions to that as well. But those are a couple of things. I'm sorry, Misty, as a mom, I'm sure you had questions, but just from, an everyday person, I try not to talk doctor talk because I want people to understand. And when people understand, they make better health choices, right?
Absolutely. I think, a really great thing to be able to do is explain the immune system, I think in layman's terms, because we all hear immune system all day long right now, right? Immune system. So tell us exactly what is it, how does it work, and why does that make a difference? Why does sugar make a difference for the immune system?
Oh, man. Okay. Thank you. Let's say we're in our own home, right? And your home equates or it's equal to your body. Makes sense so far? So I want to give a picture because when we can see it, we can be it, right? And so you have, rooms in your home. Those are like maybe organs, okay, and tissues, right? Cells. And you've got a system that connects everything through the circulatory system, like the plumbing, okay, and hallways in your home. So if somebody was an intruder, somebody wanting to break into your home, they've got to breach the outside. That's the skin, right? They got to get inside your body. And the way they typically come in is through the nose, the mouth, and things like that, or a cut. Now, what happens when this occurs is your immune system has cells. It's kind of like the security system in your home, Misty.
Okay.
And it says, uh-oh, front door's open. And then it sends, send the cops, right? That would be your immune system to get rid of the perpetrator. And the perpetrator would be that bacteria, the virus, you insert whatever it is. Okay, but it has to be on alert and it has to be able to do its job. When you're eating sugar, you're unplugging your security system. You're turning it off. Mm-hmm. So then those foreign invaders, those perpetrators can come in and they can steal and rob you blind, take uproot, right? Loot the home. They can take stuff. They can live there. I mean, that's what starts to happen. And the longer you suppress the immune system, it can't overcome that. And so we want to be able to put things into our body that actually enhance, that turn it on to recognize it. Now, in some cases, your immune system can do one of two things. It can be overstimulated, Misty. And these are things you'll see when kids have or adults have allergies, asthma. Their immune system is so ramped up, it's so jacked up that it's turned up so high, it creates systemic inflammation and it's haywire. In other instances, these people get sick all the time because it's suppressed it. Now, the major key component to turn on the immune system, medical research shows, is fruits, vegetables, and berries. Now, this is where I started to look because you see a lot of people take multivitamins. And that never made sense to me until someone even asked me. They said, Dr. Harless, have you ever noticed how that multivitamin has a locking lid on it, just like a medication bottle? And I was like, oh my God. And I looked it up. 60,000 Americans every year overdose on multivitamins. And I'm very spiritual and religious. And I tell people, look, if God wanted you to eat a vitamin only, that vitamin would be growing in the tree. You know what I mean? It's put inside of the apple, in the cherry, in the spinach, in its proper ratios, the way God designed for you to extract it and use it, right? It's called bioavailability. That's why when someone takes a multivitamin, they urinate it right out. Their urine stinks. I call it pterodactyl urine, right? But what we did is you should be consuming 10 to 15 fistful sizes of raw vegetables and fruits every day. I would be eating for 2 weeks trying to get a daily serving. And I eat 2 salads a day. And I got my wife's like, how do you eat that much? I don't know. But literally, I don't get that. And I don't get a variety. That's what they now know. It's the variety of what you're eating. So I started years ago creating my own juice where I would literally go to the grocery store and I would get the produce, organic and all this. 40% absorption rate because they pick it 2 and 3 weeks early. And then they use radiation and ethylene gas to ripen it. And I was like, oh my God. And so I would make this juice and it tastes terrible, just to try to bridge the gap of what I should eat. And then years back, someone introduced me to something that just made total sense to me. Okay. And it was basically a product that we call Juice Plus. And it comes in capsule form, right? Little capsules. And we open these things and you can actually put them in shakes and things like that. But these right here, there are 10 different berries in here. So, and I think most parents have heard the buzzword edelberry, right? Blackberry, cacao, but edelberry is huge for the immune system. Every time you take this, you're getting raspberry, bilberry, blueberry, cranberry, pomegranate, Concord grape, blackcurrant, edelberry, artichoke, and cacao. And the greens are broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot, garlic, lemon, beet, rice bran, and kale. And then there's fruits. And if you don't like those, there's even these wonderful little gummies. Now, the only reason I share this is I found this would be simple to help bridge a gap in what we should eat and what we were actually eating. And it was on the go. And there's tons of research behind how it can enhance the immune system. And it's so common sense. So these are just little tricks. You want to eat more water. You want to drink more water, eat more fruits and vegetables. You want to get out in the sun for around 30 to 40 minutes a day if you can. Because what that does, it boosts vitamin D, which controls your immune system as well, up to 10% of your genetic code. And so up north where I was in Michigan, it's hard to get sun these days, right? It's just one of those things. So this is some things, what this has been shown to do is increase and enhance also the skin thickness and the hydration by 39% to the skin surface. So that way you can maximize those nutrients, keep the skin healthy so you can keep foreign invaders out. And also when you do get sun, create vitamin D to stimulate the immune system and allow your family to be their best. And those are just some things that we have found in our home. But I'm sure there might be some things that I missed there, some questions you have as a mom you may want to ask.
Well, one of the questions that I had before, and I know the answer now, but so what do you do for those kids who really can't swallow those big capsules, but you want to make sure you get that nutrition in? And you showed us the berry gummy. What other options are there for the kids?
Yeah, so what I do in my home is I love to use those capsules. And the products of Juice Plus are all NSF certified, which tells me as a dad, I know exactly what I'm getting. Like there's no herbicides and pesticides, mold, mildew, and bacteria. But these are the gummies, and they literally taste like a gummy bear. It's the way that they harvest, they vine ripen all the products and the produce, and they use the pits, the stems, the seeds, and the pills, and then they take away the sugar, the fiber, and the water. So this is diabetic safe. It's keto. People are doing keto. This is a wonderful way to get those fruits that people know they need without the sugars. And by no means are we saying that this is a substitute. This is an add-in, but there's never been a research article to prove out of 4,000 biomedical journals that the more fruits and vegetables and berries one eats, there's never a cutoff on the benefit. So, and anytime you go into any healthcare facility, it always states, eat more fruits and vegetables, drink more water, and move. Those are the things that we want to do. And I've just found little simple things, those drinks that I was showing you guys that are so sugary. What if, if you can't get the kids to stop it, dilute it, right? Maybe pour in a glass, a quarter of it, and then pour water the rest of the way, right? Make some compromise, but start cutting that stuff back and watch what starts to happen to the healthier family. That's what's important to me is God's gifted me with this information and I need to get it out because there's people out there that need to hear this. They have no clue. I was at Bob Evans a few years back and this wonderful young mom, and she was 23, 4, and she had 2 little kids. And she's, my son is just out of control. He's crazy. And I know he's eating a ton of sugar. I said, what's his diet like? And she goes, oh, no, he doesn't eat sugar. He doesn't like that. I said, what's he like? I go, does he like things like pizza and macaroni and cheese? And she was like, oh, he loves those. And I said, well, that's all carbohydrates that breaks down into sugar. And she goes, she had no idea. And so I, just like her, I was rowing that boat of ignorance too. And I just feel God's impressed this on my heart to share and express this with other people. So Any other questions though, Misty? And we can hop back on and I'm going to do some more detailed stuff on this and just to show people down the road too. But
no, I just think this is so important right now. I know my kids just went back to school face to face, and I'm so grateful that they're there. But I know when they went back, one of my kids was like, "Hey, Mom, is there money in my lunch account?" And I said, "Well, what do you need lunch for?" Because they're not eating lunch at school right now, and they don't usually they don't eat lunch. They take their lunches, and he goes, "Well, I want to buy a drink." And I said, "What kind of drink do you want to buy?" And it's the sugary stuff. And I said, "Take your bottled water, put it in your backpack so you have something to drink throughout the day, but you don't need that stuff. But that's not going to make you feel good." So yeah, I know that that's a big thing, but oh, they can just have that. Oh, they can just have that. And I get it, because you want your kids to have the stuff you had as a kid and that kind of thing. But the more you know this information that you're sharing with us, it makes it that much harder to say yes, that's for sure. So I love that we can put in some healthy tips in here, some healthy ways to boost that nutrition back up for the day, and keep our kids on a healthy path while they're in school here. So appreciate your time today.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. And if there's any questions people have, please reach out. I'm always available, and any way I can help in any way. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a great day.